Another useful technique in counting will be the Venn diagram. Now, the Venn diagram is important to understand that there's what it's saying and being able to read it. So this one is what we're saying here is, well, it's read the directions here. The Venn diagram below illustrates relationships between 143 million active duty members in the U.S. Armed Forces as of December 2010. Based on the diagram, compute the probabilities. Now, we're not going to worry about the word probability yet. We're going to come back and do this problem yet. So instead, we're just going to count the number of people in the parts, and then there will be A through E, but right now we're just going to leave it just in the parts listed below. Um, okay, and note that all the values in this diagram are stated in thousands. So here we go. Now, this first bubble here, do you see this as Air Force members? So what this means is that there are 217.3 thousand members in the Air Force, right? Well, not quite, because anybody in this bubble is in the Air Force. So why are they sectioned out? Well, so what we have to understand is there's as much information about being inside a bubble as there is being outside a bubble. So right now, this 217.3 is in the Air Force, but they are outside military officers. So what that means is they are in 217.3 thousand people who are in the Air Force, but are not military officers. Does that make sense? And they are also not women. So we'll make the assumption that there's only women or men classifications. So therefore, we're going to say that there are 217.3 thousand Air Force members who are not officers that are male, or male Air Force male Air Force non-officers. And then you can play this game. You can keep going around picking different pieces. So, like for example, what is the meaning of the 11.7? Well, that means there are 11.7 thousand people in the Air Force who are military officers and are women because they're inside all three bubbles. So that's how you read a Venn diagram. And just make sure you always talk about the complement. Make sure you always talk about what's not in the bubble. It's very important. A lot of information there. Okay, so this notation, N with a parenthesis. What I'm asking you, how many women who are not in the Air Force nor are officers, how many people are there that are not in the Air Force? So it means if they're not in the Air Force, we're throwing out everybody who is. You, and you. Okay. And they are not officers as well. So throw you out, throw you out. So therefore that leaves us with 121.7 thousand, or aka, if we don't want to use the thousand, we'd shift that 3 decimal places. So that'd be 121712. Well, yeah, because it's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so 2 zeros. So 121,700 people. Okay. Um, and actually, we're not going to do this one. I'm going to take that one out of your notes. So then the next one, officers who are women. Okay, so you try this. Go in here and find, go in here and find this problem. Okay, so you're looking for officers who are women. So hopefully you said, okay, we're looking for people who are women and officers. They have to be in both bubbles, which means uh, they have to qualify for both. So therefore, it has to be those people and those people. So how many people are there? Well, that would be what? 11.7 plus 14.1. So what does that come out to be? 25.8. So therefore, 25.8 thousand, or shift that 3 decimal places. So that'd be 25,800 people. All right. All right. So I hope they're getting good practice. Now, this next one, it's the exact same thing. I only give it to you because I once had a fight break out in the middle of class. Not really, but it was close. People were walking out, getting ready to walk out of the test and give up and say, this is impossible and whatever. So I wanted you to just take a read, take a look at this, and look at the Venn diagram. And then look at these couple questions. So the first one, let's just make sure we understand what everything's saying. foreign-born U.S. residents. So somebody who is a U.S. Now, first of all, when you read the whole thing, this is talking about the 307 million residents in the United States. So that is people who live here, right? People who are residents here in the United States. So if you are foreign born, that means you were not born in the United States, but you are still a resident. So there you go. Now, the next one here are residents who are not U.S. citizens. But just because you're a resident and you live here does not mean you are a citizen. There's all sorts of ways you can come to this country and live here but not be a citizen but be a resident. Okay, then last but not least, Hispanics. All right. Now, please don't start. This is from the U.S. Census Bureau. Okay, they're not made up numbers. These are real, the real deal. Okay, now here we go. Can you calculate the number of people who are in the United States who are foreign born and not Hispanic? So what does that mean? Foreign born. That means they are in this bubble. So we want this. And they are not Hispanic. So we don't, it's not that we don't, we don't want the numbers in the Hispanic bubble. We want everything outside of the Hispanic bubble. So we want things that are outside Hispanic but inside foreign born. So it's those two. So you're going to get those. You're going to say this is equal to 11,166,000. So 11,166,000 plus 8,861,000 and change. Okay, if you got that, great. This is calculator button pushing. Everybody can do that. We're moving on. So now I want citizens who are Hispanic. Okay, can you figure out how many citizens there are that are Hispanic? All right, so if we want citizens, these people in this bubble are not citizens. So if you're in this bubble, you are not a citizen. So we're looking for people outside that bubble, but who are Hispanic. So outside that bubble, Hispanic. So there you go, those two numbers. So that's going to end up being what? 5,680,000 plus 32,253,000. Okay. Last but not least, and again, you could get a total for that. All right, so now here's what I want. Last one. This is the one that caused the outrage. Outrage, I say, in math class. Non-citizens born in the United States. How many people are there that are not citizens but born in the United States? Okay. And so what does that mean? If you are not a citizen, that means you are in this bubble. We want inside this bubble. But it means you are also born in the United States. So foreign born means we're not born in the United States. So we want people outside this bubble, outside here. So we don't want these numbers. Nope. Gone, 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 gone. Outside that bubble, but inside this bubble. So we're keeping the 70,000 and we're keeping that. So therefore, what does that mean? What does that mean? Well, our number is 70,000 plus 364,000. And again, and so this, what caused the problem was some students were saying, well, that's not possible. How is it possible that you could be born in the United States but not be a citizen, right? How is, when you're born here, you automatically are a citizen. So this doesn't make sense. Well, okay, this is this is my suggestion to you. You don't know everything. Okay, I know that may come as a newsflash to some of you guys, but you don't know everything. And the big idea here is laws changed. It wasn't always that if you were born here in the United States, you were automatically a citizen. Just one example of that would be in the 70s, they changed the law where if your parents were from a different country, you got to choose your citizenship. You either got to choose your parents' citizenship from their country or citizenship in the United States. But you didn't get both. You didn't get dual citizenship. So just go with the problem, and then you can ask me, how is this possible? I don't see it, but just don't let it freak you out. Just answer the questions, go through the questions, and then question later, right? Say, is this really right? Okay, all right. I hope that helps. That's 6.1, 6.2, and I'll look for you in the next section.